To do or not to do? That is the question. What does it really cost to not do something? At first, it's easy to assume that the answer is nothing. If, however, we dive a little deeper, it won't take long to realize that in a lot of cases that simply isn't true. Try leaving the stove or the tap running, and there might be some significant costs involved in those choices to do nothing. While it is easy to clearly see things with extreme examples like that, and extreme examples are sometimes good for making the point, it's the more subtle choices that are constantly not being made that might be adding up to a lot of hidden costs. For example, what is the cost of not exercising? What's the cost of not learning? What's the cost of staying in a rut? What's the cost of poor nutrition? What's the cost of staying up late every night? The trouble with trying to work these types of things into some real-life mathematical equation is that they are, for the most part, very intangible. The cost of making a change might feel very high at first, and the results, the value that is returned for the investment of those costs, might seem very low, at least initially. That's where exploring the costs and the benefits over a longer term might be a better lens to view things like the suggestions above. Let's focus on exercise, because that's one I struggle with myself. I have no problem delving into deep learning on just about anything and everything. I've had that desire early on in childhood, and it's just never let up. However, while I've exercised practically every day, I'm not sure I got the same return on my investment. But then I asked myself, what would have been the cost of not doing so? What shape would I be in today in that case? Those answers might still be hard to quantify. I do know that I go in patterns of lots of exercise until something happens, and then for some reason or another I can't exercise for a while, or at least I have to exercise on a reduced scale. I really don't feel anywhere near as good during those periods of recovery. So to me, the costs of exercising have been more than worth it. Opportunity costs refer to the missed benefits one inherently loses when failing to make a choice. Failing to make a choice is just as much of a choice as making one. My invitation to you, the thought exercise, is to simply think about some things that you're not doing and review the costs of continuing not doing them, both long and short term. Make the choices you are already making conscious choices instead of perhaps the unconscious choices that have been made all along. Bill Harris of Centerpoint fame once said something to this effect. One cannot consciously choose to continue to do something detrimental to oneself. Doing the thought work to review things not being done might trigger a similar response once you discover something about yourself and your patterns. I hope it does. Please feel free to let me know what else you would like me to discuss by commenting below. Here's to your health, your wealth, your well-being, and your happiness.